Hey guys, I had a client today who tricked me into tapping into some energy and start investing in her journey and pushing things in from a good place. And so we just ended the session and I'm still kind of vibing off of the good stuff that was flowing. This all sounds really strange. But I wanted to share some of this with you while it's still fresh. We were talking about faith and things manifesting and becoming real in your life based on what you know is true from what you believe versus what your circumstances or situation are telling you. And I was explaining to this person that I thought this would be helpful for you guys as well. The Bible describes sin in this process, right? So there's this temptation thing, this idea gets proposed, like, boop, this bad thing. What if you stole the money and just like found this way to get the back door and blah, 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 right? And that idea germinates inside of you and becomes thoughts, and then you invest in it and you take care of it and it grows to the point that you actually start executing. You start taking actions based on that belief and you start producing what the Bible calls sin. You violate yourself and you try to find another way to get what you want outside of trust and outside of being a son or daughter. And you break the natural laws and you go into the thievery thing and you start stealing and violating and blah, blah, blah. Right? And that sin eventually produces death. In the same way, faith gets planted as a seed, right? A tiny little seed. It could be small. It gets planted. The idea of, like, let's say, hey, maybe money's not going to be a problem the rest of my life. What if I actually had more than I needed for the rest of my life? You start accepting that idea. And then that idea just kind of starts to germinate and it starts to grow and it comes into your thought process and your emotions and it starts like giving permission for you to want things beyond what your budget will handle currently. And you start like conceiving of the possibility of increase and more. And then you start actually stepping out on actions and choices and clicking on things and reading things and connecting and all of a sudden these opportunities start coming to you and these trainings and these resources, and you start growing as a person and your ability to take advantage of what's in front of you starts to increase. And now you're actually starting to crank out some value that the marketplace honors and money starts getting thrown at your feet. It works both ways. So it gets to the point, like if we're talking about the sin side, it gets to the point where the actions and choices legitimately produce chaos and destruction to the point that you're like, I have no idea how I got here. I do not understand like how my life has fallen apart to this degree. I did not intend for this. This was never the plan. I cannot believe how unrecognizable the chaos of my life is right now. My life's in shambles, right? On the other side of the spectrum, you accept that seed of faith, you protect it, it germinates, it grows, you nurture it, you continue to feed it or whatever. It gets to the point where your life becomes so abundant and so filled with goodness that you're like, I have no idea whose life I'm living. I did not expect this. This was not the plan. I did not intend for it to be this good. I don't know how I got here. It happens both ways because you guys, the thing is, we're not the ones producing all this ourselves. We are simply allowing and taking care of and agreeing with beliefs that produce for us. We are not workers. We are supposed to be royalty that are being served by powers at work in this world that are here to prop us up or take us down, depending on which ones we agree with. So those of you that are looking for more in your life, I just want to encourage you when it comes to the faith thing, it's not just a nice positive feeling. It's not just a once in a while thing. Faith is the idea of what you hope for planted inside of yourself and you accept it and you actually expect that it's going to happen. And then you just take care of that thought and you agree with it and you meditate on it, and it's allowed to grow and you give it permission to influence you. And pretty soon a whole path gets paved out for you that you start walking down. You didn't intend for this. You didn't mean to find it. You just kind of said yes to the proposal, the idea, and all of a sudden your life changes and it's amazing. You guys take care of those little seeds, those little beliefs, those little possibilities. They're not just ideas. They're actually there to become something real. Take care of them.